Okay, good morning, good afternoon, whatever your case may be. It's only 3 minutes after 12 up there in New York City. It's 11:03 down here. So it's morning down here. I watched Monday Night Football last night. There was two games on, and one game the quarterback looked great, and the other game the quarterback, something's wrong. Burrows can't play the first two games of the year. They got to sit him down. Otherwise, just start Cincinnati at 0-2 and go from there. They're 0-3 now. Okay. And what else? You got the Giants playing the Cowboys on Thursday. Now, I don't believe the Giants to be a very good team. I think they're mediocre at best. And the one thing over the years I know is you don't want to play a pissed off Dallas Cowboy team, and I think they're pissed off right now. So this is either only two things can happen in that game. One is the Cowboys completely fall apart and give the game to the Giants, or the Giants get their asses whooped horribly. Okay, we'll see what happens there. And we'll talk about football the rest of the week, how it is. It's my favorite thing in life. But it's getting to a point where, I play tackle football in the street. Okay? My brother played high school football wearing a cardboard helmet. This is how the game's evolved. But I think some of the problems they have with these guys getting hit real bad is that, is that with the new equipment that they have, I think they're starting to feel invincible, and they're not. And so I don't know. Some things I'm looking at here I don't understand either. But anyhow, here's a news flash. Trump's stock in that Truth Social thing of his, Trump Media, whatever they call it, is now $12.40. This is a man who's going to tell you he knows what's wrong with the economy. He's just a man that's going to make our economy great. This is a man that's got something like 7 bankruptcies to his record. This is a man that destroys everything he touches. Okay, this is a man that has no cash and has to take it from his super PAC, which is not illegal but is morally incorrect, to finance his own personal daily routine. Okay, he's got no cash. He couldn't pay his fines. Couldn't find anybody that wanted to lend him money. And I always thought the hotel in New York was in great shape. It's got 3 mortgages on it. How do you be in great shape that way? Sorry about that. Rough night. Monday Night Football. You know how it goes. Alright? So, I don't see Donald Trump as being this great economic voice for the American people, Supposedly, sometime this week, Kamala is supposed to go into a little bit more depth with her economic policies, and she better, because as much as people hate Donald Trump, they're under this delusion that he is a economic genius, a business genius. Yeah. How do you bankrupt a casino? One, you put it in the wrong location, which he did. 2, you make it so when you walk into the place, you become automatically depressed. Depressed gamblers are not good gamblers. They're not good for a casino. But I know that's what happened. That's what happened to me. I think I spent an hour there playing blackjack, and they kept changing the dealer every 10 minutes. If you won a hand, they changed the dealer. And I just said, nah, this is enough of this. I'm out of here, Me and my friend Ray, I can't remember Ray's last name, but anyhow, we were about the same age. We just took off and said, the hell with this. We went back to in town, and won a few dollars here and there. Okay, now, as I'm saying this, I'm saying to myself, how do people figure he's this great genius? Nobody really knows his financial situation, And if you look at the stock and how it's just been tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, and it's like I said, it's down to $12.40. If it hits $12, they freeze it. He can't get any money out of it. And it was supposedly he was going to sell some stock, This is his company. He is the only person that generates revenue for that company, I think, because he goes online and because he's on there and I think that's just his personal, it's like his personal little Twitter account or something, He just puts all kinds of bullshit out there, and people go, oh, yeah, well, yay Donald, yay Trump. Wow. I don't see Nobel laureates coming out and supporting Donald Trump. I'm not saying that they're, supporting Kamala or whatever. I just say I don't see him coming near Trump. I don't see anybody with half a brain going near Trump. But yet he leads in the polls. And he's already starting to rig the election and then claiming the election's rigged. Of course it's rigged. You rigged it, you dumb bastard. Gotta do something about him, and I don't know what to do right now. But he's got, his failures are legendary. He's never come up with a good idea in his life. He said before he got elected that the Republicans would replace Obamacare, what was then called Obamacare, which is now the Affordable Care Act. They were able to change the name because he hates Obama. He was the one that claimed he was born in Nigeria. Maybe Trump was adopted. Maybe we should look into that. Because he's really well, I don't know. He doesn't have a history of it. Well, he had some good people. His sister managed to become a judge, I think an appellate court judge, that Clinton appointed, so she couldn't have been a bad person. If the Democrats were willing to appoint her. And I know Clinton didn't take it anyway. Well, you never know. Clinton was a little bit in the real estate business. He might have taken some money from Donald. I don't know. The problem with getting a bribe or something from Donald is he doesn't have the money to do it with anymore. Donald is I call them paper billionaires. He pretty much goes around and tells people what he's worth. And then they print it, and the hotel is worth this because Trump said so. No, it's not. It's worth a lot of money because of a real estate value, but as a business, it's not worth much more than the Waldorf or any of the other hotels in New York City. It's not legendary. They're not dropping the ball from the top of that building. I mean, it's just something he put his name on, and it makes him feel good. A lot of people invest in hotels and buy glamorous hotels and whatnot. They don't put their names anywhere near it. I mean, I guess they have to a certain degree, but they don't. They're not going to sit there and put their names on the building. Trump would do that. Trump would buy the Waldorf or the Astor, two of the most famous hotels in New York City, and I'm not even sure what kind of shape they're in, if they're still in business or whatever. But let's say they are. Let's say they're doing well. He would put his name on it. For the only reason is he likes to see his name. That's the narcissism in him. He loves to see his name up high. Trump. Eh. You know, if you look at it wrong, it spells frump, you know. I call him the Trumpster because he's just he's so close to the dumpster, you just call him Trumpster, you know what I'm saying? What else can I tell you, you know? What else can we talk about? Oh, you got the Israel and Hezbollah, which I'm not sure what the difference between that and the other terrorist organizations over there, but I think Hezbollah is supported by Iran, and they're in Lebanon, and so, you know, Israel is bombing Lebanon, and you know, this is a war with what they call a lot of collateral damage. And the collateral damage is to innocent people. I remember when there was a war with Catholics and somebody, I don't know what the other, who was fighting in Lebanon, and they took the town of Beirut, with the city of Beirut, which at one point in time was considered one of the seven, almost considered something like close to being one of the, if not one of the seven wonders of the world, because it was so beautiful, and they destroyed it, turned it into rubble. You know, that part of it, and they did the same thing in Afghanistan. Afghanistan had some, what do they call those sites? I'll say world cultural sites, but, you know, that were supposed to be protected because they were absolutely fantastic examples of art and whatnot, and they destroyed it, especially these statues. I think they were statues of Buddha, I'm not sure, but they were considered a cultural phenomenon. They were beautiful, one of the greatest examples of architecture. It just went around, blew them all up. That's the Taliban. That's because people, I don't know. That's because their God wasn't invited to the Last Supper. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. You know, it's so stupid. It's so ridiculous. You go write this article or write that article, and people are talking about this or they're talking about that, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. You know, Trump wants to threaten farmers that if he isn't elected, you know, well, he doesn't. He says, "I'll make it." No, he's not going to do that. I'll put you know, economists have sat down and said, if Trump institutes all the tariffs he's saying, it'll cost the American family more than $3,000 a year. All right, it'll cost trillions of dollars in debt, and we don't have trillions of dollars in debt to give away. But this is, you know, Donald is this so-called mad genius, and people will listen. People will do what I tell them to do. No, they're not, because they realize something. You don't have a country behind you right now. All right, Kamala's going to have the same sort of problem, but at least I think she'll handle it better, because she won't lose it. She won't panic and start screaming and yelling and do radical things. You know, she'll be a little bit more under control. But you know, people have to stop looking for reasons for their own failure. You know. Do I know my reasons? Of course I do. None of them have anything to do with my business acumen or anything else. It all has to do with my head, psychological. That's why I'm where I am right now in life, you know. I procrastinate immensely. And at my age, I don't really give a shit. I'm not going to try and correct it right now, but I do. I procrastinate, and that's one of the reasons I've been afraid to take chances. So I haven't failed. I just haven't succeeded at things. Had a couple of businesses. I didn't, fail at them. I'm not good at hiring people, things like that, but, I know how to run a business and keep it profitable. I know how to please a customer. Donald Trump does not know how to run a business. Because Donald Trump runs his business like the mafia. Mafia goes out and buys businesses legitimately, goes and buys them. Then sucks every little dime they can get out of them. Then sells the company off in pieces and makes money. Because they use it as a means of laundering their illegitimate cash. They funnel that into it. It's just, Trump works the same way. Now they're running around trying to figure out who paid Melania $267,000 for $453, something like that, for a speaking engagement that she wasn't aware she was getting paid for. They don't know where the money's coming from. That's Trump's way of taking money out of his super PAC and washing it through her speaking events, and then it goes back into his personal accounts someplace along the line. Trump's operating like the mafia. They said that he stole more stuff when he left besides documents, That's the other thing. I keep asking somebody to ask him that question publicly. What were you going to do with those documents that you took out of the... well, they were mine to take. I don't care about that. What were you going to do with them? How are you going to turn them into money? Because, you don't do anything unless you try to turn everything into money. It doesn't always work, does it, Donnie? All right. Listen. This was a real good, boring day. So I'm done. I'll be back tomorrow. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Check it out.